An historic moment. The University of Illinois welcomes its first woman chair of the Board of Trustees. That's next from the vault. Plus, state police light up controversy. Why citizens wanted ISP to 86, the 5.0's newest technology. And a pastor using his motorcycle as a vehicle to bring people closer to God. All that, Oprah's on and getting in tune with the U.S. Constitution.
Constitution of the United States.
That and more next from the vault.
The stories that made news and made history. The places that mattered to us and the people who made Central Illinois home. Join us from the vault.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Matt Metcalf. Glad you could join us. The first woman was admitted to the University of Illinois in 1870, but it wasn't until 1985 that a woman came to chair the university's governing body, the Board of Trustees. WCIA covered the inauguration, and Kevin Johnson filed this report. It's from the vault.
Before handing the gavel over, outgoing board president William Forsythe spoke of the exciting changes in U of I leadership over the past few years.
When you look around this board, 1/3 of the board is new in the last 2 years. A university is a continually changing place. When you think of our deans, our department heads, it's a tremendous opportunity for a lot of people. And we've been fortunate in finding the very best.
The election of Mrs. Shepard was unanimous. She becomes the 38th board president. Her two sons were at her side when she made her acceptance speech.
We seek to make our own contributions. We hold and trust those achievements of those who have gone before us. As a woman, I cannot help but be conscious and appreciative of your action today, as I am aware of the strong historical record of the 20 women who have so ably served this board.
Shepard then presided over the installation of the 3 recently elected trustees: Ann Smith, the first black woman to be elected, Susan Gravenhorst, and Ralph Hahn. Nina Shepard graduated Phi Beta Kappa and magna cum laude from the Urbana-Champaign campus in 1955. She is currently a cable television consultant in the Chicago area. Michigan State is the only other Big Ten institution which has a woman serving in a similar capacity. Kevin Johnson, Channel 3 News, Urbana.
The first female chancellor at the Urbana-Champaign campus came 15 years later in 2001. WCIA was there for Nancy Cantor's first public meet and greet, shaking hands and meeting faculty, staff, and students. Cantor sought to make both the faculty and the student body more diverse, a people-first approach evident early on.
It's most important to say from the outset that this isn't about me and about a single person. It's really about all of us working together.
Cantor had previously been the provost at the University of Michigan and served as chancellor at UIUC for 3 years. There is power in seeing someone that's like you in leadership. One Danville woman became an icon of achievement, climbing to the highest rank in the Illinois National Guard. Ann Dill had that story in 2004.
17 years of service, dedication to fellow soldiers, and consistent leadership marked the career of Command Sergeant Major Becker. The promotion is not unusual, but Terry Becker is unusual for the position.
She misses this. She doesn't get this very often.
She's the first woman promoted to the Illinois Guard's highest enlisted rank.
Very honored and very proud.
Becker started her career in basic training 17 years ago. She chose to continue in the Guard as a non-commissioned officer.
As an NCO, you work directly with the soldiers almost on a one-on-one basis, and that's just been a tremendous experience.
Becker's duties are mostly administrative. She puts in several hours a day at her computer, but she and her battalion could be activated any time to serve overseas.
It's just kind of when, really, we're just all ready to go whenever it's needed.
Becker is an inspiration to her 3 young daughters and hopes her achievement will inspire other women in the military.
I've always wanted to be able to make an impact on those soldiers that aren't quite sure if they want to stay in or if they're not sure if they can make it to the next level, and I sure hope that I can be that role model for them.
In Champaign, Ann Dill, WCIA 3 News at 5.
Becker told Ann that she credited her family, especially her grandparents, for pushing her to achieve. So amazing firsts like those were inspired by earlier first-wave feminists like Susan B. Anthony. In 1976, women in Champaign came together to celebrate Anthony's birth anniversary. With cake, readings, fellowship, and music, they discussed Anthony's impact on the lives of everyday women and reflected on the power women have to make anything happen.
We felt that since Susan B. Anthony now has a commemorative holiday, that we really ought to celebrate. And so a bunch of women got together and we just started telephoning everyone we knew and telling them about this great event. And there was so much enthusiasm that it just sort of grew.
Also a hot topic that day, the Equal Rights Amendment. The first ERA had been proposed in 1923, but it took Congress another 50 years to pass it and send it on to the states for ratification. When the ERA failed to get enough support, some Champaign County women set out to make sure that the story of women's rights continued to be told. Channel 3's Cheryl Pettis covered the dedication of a historical marker to Susan B. Anthony. It's from the Vault, 1984.
The bronze plaque is a memorial to what Susan B. Anthony fought for, and that was equal rights. At today's dedication ceremony in Champaign on the corner of Main and Neal Streets, legislator Helen Satterthwaite told those who had gathered that Anthony was a fighter and a crusader.
But she was also campaigning on temperance and the abolition of slavery.
When Susan B. Anthony taught school in Massachusetts in the 1800s, her salary was 1/3 of what the men received. That was a lesson she would never forget. Today there were brief selections from her original speech given in Champaign in 1870 and a musical tribute called Work, Wages, and the Ballot. The mostly female audience was told that it was honoring women by honoring Susan B. Anthony. And one participant said, "The battle for women's rights must continue because the war hasn't yet been won." Cheryl Pettis, Channel 3 News, Champaign.
Still to come, stuntman legend Evel Knievel comes to Central Illinois. Hear what inspired him to make one of his most dangerous jumps. That's ahead. Plus, new lights let Illinois State Police run dark, why it created an outcry from citizens.
From the Vault, celebrating the rich heritage of Central Illinois. Sponsored by Sunset Funeral Homes. Remember, celebrate, heal.
Lights inside the police cruiser. It was the latest technology designed to help Illinois State Police do their job better, keep Illinoisans safe on the road. But while taking the cherries, as they called them, off the top of the vehicle stemmed from an effort to save money, it was a pit that some citizens wouldn't swallow. Kevin Johnson had the story in 1984.
Cost is the biggest advantage of interior lights. A trade-in of a top rack model can buy 2 sets. Another problem is wind resistance. Just ask the Bugs. Acceleration is hurt, which ultimately kills gas mileage. The median savings in gas is 6.2%. Some cars can get 20% better mileage. For 500 vehicles, that could mean $6,900 minimum, $217,000 maximum.
Gas mileage is improved. The cost of installation is cut down. They're not affected by the weather. The elements is bad. They're inside until you actually need them. When you get to an accident scene, you can still take them out, put them on top of the car, and get the protection needed.
Farther down on the list of advantages is that it's harder to spot cop cars in the old rearview mirror. Perhaps that's a concern for people who are doing illegal things inside the car, because Illinois State Police troopers rarely make arrests now by clocking. And the thinking is semi-marked cars will get in fewer accidents. Drivers sometimes overestimate visibility with top lights. Inside lights might cause them to be more cautious. However, some troopers have expressed the opinion that interior lights won't allow them to weave in and out of traffic on a call. And when on the side of the road, steep hills might affect citizen visibility. Trooper McCoy thinks any grumbling might simply because the lights are new.
They might want to drive differently until the people get used to it, because the alternating headlights will illuminate and warn people adequately. It might be a little educational period here until people get used to it.
Kevin Johnson, Channel 3 News.
Some of the new technology was actually made right here in central Illinois. Radar guns, for example, were produced in Decatur. Channel 3's Dave Brandon got an inside look in 1990.
This modest building on Decatur's near west side houses a small business with a worldwide market. Decatur Electronics bills itself as the oldest manufacturer of speed measuring radar with the newest ideas. Mike Redlinger is VP of Operations.
With the new technology that keeps coming and changing from week to week, it allows you to basically adapt your current product line so that you can take care of, a specific application.
10 to 15 production staffers and 4 engineers are involved in manufacturing the devices, which have a wide variety of applications. 75% of the radar guns used by U.S. law enforcement come from here, as are all of the guns used in Major League Baseball. Decatur Electronics radar guns were used the past 2 years at Wimbledon, and they even made devices used in the docking system on Skylab.
We've had requests, they wanted a radar gun to clock the speed of ice balls. The applications, I look for us to probably come up with maybe 5 to 6 new applications, new markets for us this year.
Decatur Electronics produces from 300 to 500 radar devices each year. They range in cost from about $1,000 to several thousand. Not bad for a business that started 25 years ago on a workbench. Dave Brandon, Channel 3 News, Decatur.
Biking for a Cure. Local students ride to make a difference in the fight against cancer. That's ahead. Plus, striking the right note to honor America's Constitution. An area songwriter's dream come true.
The stories and people you remember from Central Illinois. Once again, From the Vault with Matt Metcalf.
Robert Evel Knievel is one of America's most famous stuntmen, having made more than 75 thrilling motorcycle jumps in the 1960s and 70s. In 1975, Knievel came to Central Illinois. Despite having fractured his pelvis just a few months before, he affirmed at a Danville news conference that he would jump again later that year, inspired by some encouragement from some of his youngest fans.
I got letters from kids all over the world. I think I must have got 5,000 or 6,000 letters, and I remember one in particular I got from a little boy who's crippled in San Francisco. And he said that he saw me walk away and that he has tried so hard to get up and walk, even though he's been paralyzed, that he's cried because he's tried so hard. And at the end of the letter it said, someday when you come to San Francisco, I know we'll be able to take a walk together. And this kind of thing with kids really hits you between the eyes. So I've helped a few of them get up, I guess, and now they help me get up, or back up. So it's a pretty good feeling.
The Chuckles Candy Company in Danville was Knievel's title sponsor in the 1970s. And in case you were wondering, though the Danville plant is closed, you can still get Chuckles gummies online. These riders are firmly planted on the ground, but one pastor hopes to get their eyes to the sky. From the Vault, 1989, bike buff Victor Rowell and his wife are part of a team of 7 two-wheel evangelists preaching the word on the road. The Spirit Warrior, part bike, part car, captures attention, and that's where the conversation starts.
And so just seeing the personal, change in people as we get to know them and then the change that Jesus makes, that's the biggest reward.
The Christian Motorcyclists Association is still full throttle, revving the word with chapters in Charleston, Champaign, Decatur, and Springfield. Two wheels without a motor can make a difference too. Some area high schoolers wanted to make a difference in the fight against cancer and proved that on a bike, every mile matters. Channel 3's Jeff Wagner saw how communities came together to ride for a cure. It's From the Vault, 2011.
Drivers ran into a bit of a traffic jam on Highway 51. Bicyclists covered in pink commanded the right-hand lane, turning a Saturday morning ride into a quest for a cure. Unloading bikes for the third straight year, Central A&M senior Janie House couldn't wait to put the pedal to the pavement.
This one we have right around 160 riders, so it's a pretty big event.
Her sister got the wheels turning on the Raider ride in 2009, and it's grown each year, giving folks in Assumption and Moweaqua a reason to be proud.
Hopefully other schools and other towns can see this and know that they can do something, because we're such a small community and we're making a big impact.
The ride started at the middle school with the finish line at the high school 9 miles away. It's no surprise so many grabbed their two-wheelers and filled Highway 51, especially since fighting breast cancer connects with so many families.
My daughter-in-law has it in her family, and currently she has a cousin that is in her 30s that has 5 kids that is battling it. It just kind of makes me choked up thinking about it, that it can just take somebody away so young.
But that sad thought has a glimmer of hope as each person rolls past, pedaling for a cure.
It's the coolest thing to turn around and see the stream of pink behind you, and it's just very inspiring.
Straight ahead, celebrating America's founding spirit.
The Constitution of the United States, the spirit of America we celebrate.
A Central Illinois songwriter steeped in patriotic pride with an opportunity of a lifetime. Next.
From the Vault, celebrating the rich history of Central Illinois. Brought to you in part by the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. Online at presidentlincoln.illinois.gov.
Since he was knee-high to a grasshopper, Earl Oyler loved music. He played, he performed, he composed. And when America celebrated the 200th anniversary of the United States Constitution, he got the call of a lifetime. Here's Yvonne Simons from the Vault, 1987.
Philadelphia and the nation is gearing up for a huge celebration. This year marks the 200th birthday of the United States Constitution, which was signed September 17, 1787 in this room in Independence Hall. The celebration will include crowds and concerts and parades and maybe this song.
The Constitution of the United States, the spirit of America we celebrate.
Earl Oyler of Taylorville, Illinois, was asked to write his song, We the People, by the Bicentennial Chairman. It's been given to Philadelphia's We the People 200 Committee, CBS Television's Special Projects, and the talent coordinators at Disney World. Oyler hopes it will be chosen the official theme for the official celebration.
Mr. Hobart Kaywood, who is past chairman of We the People 200 and also supervisor of the Historical Park in Philadelphia, heard my song and liked it very much. And he told me to send it, and then after he got it, he said, "You have shared your song with us. Now it is time we share it with the rest of the world."
Oyler researched the lyrics for 2 months, but wrote the song in 1 day.
I've always been interested in love of country, and because I have been in love of country, I want to share that love with everybody else.
If Earl Oyler's dream is realized, when you see coverage of the Constitution celebration September 17th, you'll hear this.
And we the people,
Yvonne Simons, Channel 3 News, Taylorville.
For whom the Constitution was made.
Oyler also composed the Illinois State Fair theme, 150 Years, Our Illinois, for the bicentennial back in 1976. It's now housed for posterity at the Sousa Archives at the University of Illinois. Stay with us. Our classic commercial is next. In the television world, it's called a proof of performance spot, a commercial promoting how great a station's coverage of a given event was. Well, WCIA definitely earned bragging rights for its coverage of President Bill Clinton's visit to Champaign-Urbana in 1998.
I think this is like something that I'll remember for the rest of my life.
President Clinton in Champaign-Urbana, and the Channel 3 News has the story from the start, from the first announcement to the arrival of Air Force One to the Assembly Hall speech, with more reporters, more newscasts, more analysis of this history-making visit from start to finish, giving you the information you need before, during, and after the presidential visit. Another reason to trust the Channel 3 News. First, best, always.
An amazing moment for Champaign-Urbana. And that'll do it for us. From the Vault, I'm Matt Metcalf. Hope to see you next time.